And good morning is 7:04 on this Friday, December 23rd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. What's the temperature, MJ? -1? I don't hear you. Okay, well, it's something like that. When I got in my car, it said +1, I believe, and then on the way 0. And about the time we turned out on Trousdale Ferry, it went -1. So MJ says 0 right now. It's cold out there. Well, we're on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust, and we have on the phone this morning Kayla Hawkins. Kayla, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It is nice to hear your voice, and we can do this by telephone and get the message out just fine. You are coming in loud and clear, and you've got some news to start out with here because of the weather. A little different hours today, right?
Yes, sir. We just wanted to let you know we will be open today from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is a little different than our normal hours. We're going to give our employees a little bit more time to travel back and forth to work today just to keep everybody safe.
Okay. An hour later and close an hour earlier. That's pretty much it from 9 to 4. Now, let me tell everybody, you are Senior Vice President of Financial Reporting, and you're to the main office, I believe. Is that right?
I am.
Yeah. Well, what else you got for us today? Of course, those hours, it's important to know, but I doubt many people would be there at 8 o'clock, even if you were open. So 9 o'clock ought to work there and close a little early so everybody can get home a little bit quicker. But what else you got for us?
Yeah, we are also closed tomorrow, the 24th, for Christmas Eve. Of course, we'll be closed on Christmas, and then Monday, the 26th as well. So we just wanted to let everybody know that we will be closed for those days. If you need us, of course, today you can reach us by phone. There's lots of things you can do online, and we will be open 9 to 4 today. So we just wanted to give everybody a heads up on those hours.
Okay. How long have you been with the bank?
I have been there 11 years.
Mm-hmm. What did you do when you first began?
Well, I have always worked for the CFO, Lisa Pominski, so I've always been in the finance area.
Mm-hmm. Well, I take it that you enjoy what you do, and a bank as big as Wilson Bank and Trust, there are a lot of important positions there, and some of those I know have to do with compliance. Some people are not out front all the time. I don't know where you are, but you have an impressive title anyway, Senior Vice President of Financial Reporting. So, what do you do? What are some of the things you do?
I handle our financial reporting, obviously, regulatory, as well as on the accounting side. I work with the management team for managing our balance sheet and just running kind of behind the scenes. I also work with our shareholders, so do have a little bit of customer contact there. But yeah, Wilson Bank and Trust is a wonderful place to work. It's such a great culture, and it's been such a great experience for me and for my family.
Well, year after year, the bank just continues to do well, and there's been a lot of expansions. I think there's even another one that's in the works, and we'll probably hear more about that next year, but really have expanded in Middle Tennessee, all the way from, Cookeville to Brentwood, or in that neighborhood, Williamson County, Putnam County, all the surrounding counties just about. And what you said today, I take it these hours, this pertains to all the branches, main office and all the branches. Is that right?
It does. And the 9 to 4 today will also be the drive-through. So no one will be open and working until 9 o'clock this morning. Okay.
Well, you're going to have a nice 3-day weekend here. And it's seldom really that banks are open 3 days in a row. But the way the calendar falls this year, it's almost necessary, I guess. And I hope you're going to enjoy that.
Yes, we're glad our employees will have nice time with their families.
Well, anything else you got for us this morning? Will that do it?
No, just Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you have a great holiday season.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us this morning, and let's do this one more time. Remind everybody, because of the weather today, the little snow and the cold weather, be opening at 9 o'clock rather than 8 and closing at 4 instead of 5 at all the branches of Wilson Bank and Trust. And, of course, the weekend closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 24th, 25th, 26th. So, Kayla Hawkins, thank you for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. Okay, we're approaching 10 minutes after the hour, and believe it or not, my guests are here in studio. It's warm and toasty in here, and I want to welcome this morning Jeff and Greg Halloms, who are gonna tell some tales, no doubt. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning,
If anybody had been in here for the last 15 minutes, they would have heard some good conversation. Jeff, the main reason for you to be here, I guess, is to talk about FAM Essentials. I hope I've got that right.
That's correct.
Which is Faith and Actions Ministry. And when I first called you or contacted you about coming out and being with us, I think you were in South America, I believe it was, getting off an airplane or something.
Yes,
so
that's correct.
You couldn't come that time. We had you set up, I'm thinking it's a couple of weeks ago, and you were a little bit under the weather. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, speaking of the weather, you are here today.
Yes, despite of the weather, we're here.
Well, I have found out even more that you and your brother, Greg, who's with us. Greg, good morning to you, by the way. Good morning. Nice to have you, and I appreciate you wearing that Vanderbilt cap this morning. To your brother's chagrin, I think.
Well, you know what's amazing, Coleman? This is a really rare event that you can get 2 Vanderbilt fans in one room. I mean, normally you can't gather that big a crowd of Vanderbilt fans, so I'm really shocked this morning. I'm just proud to witness this.
I guess it is true that there are fundraising events held in the phone booth. I have really enjoyed sitting here and mostly listening to the two of you before we went on the air, and we all got here a little early this morning just to make sure we got here. But actually, I talked to you, Jeff, last night, and I'm always concerned about my car starting. First of all, getting in it, because sometimes those doors want to freeze, especially after you've had rain, and it'll freeze. They're hard to get open. But I managed to take care of that, and then it started just fine. But you had even volunteered, if my car wouldn't start, to come and get me, wait till 8 o'clock, and take me home. Now, that's a friend.
Well, I appreciate that. It was, I got up this morning a little early, expecting to have to go get you. But I know on the way here, when I called Greg, he said, are you going? I said, well, yeah. And so on the way here, he said, I feel like Dumb and Dumber on a road trip.
Well, found out that, Greg, you're quite an accomplished fiddle player. And I don't know what this has to do with what we're going to get to in a while, but you've been playing fiddle nearly all your life, haven't you?
About 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big part of it.
Well, now, there's some stories about when you started and how you made the neighbors mad and scared the cows and all of this. Is any truth to that?
Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to that. I think he said,
Is a fiddle really difficult to play or to learn?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a lot of perseverance and a lot of patience, and like the stories about the neighbors and everything. That's all true. There's definitely a learning curve there, for sure.
But you are quite an accomplished fiddle player now, from what your brother says anyway.
Well, that's what they say. I'm not so sure, but
it is true, right?
I taught him almost everything I know about fiddle.
Tell us a little bit about FAM Essentials.
Well, FAM Essentials, we started about a year ago. It was actually in December when we was getting everything ready to open up for business. And we saw this in Tampa, Florida, an outfit in Florida called New Life Warehouse. And we were down there visiting our son in Tampa, and where he goes to church. This is a couple that started this ministry a few years ago. And it was, they received furniture, and then they deliver that out through volunteers to people that are transitioning from homelessness to finally got an apartment, but they don't have money for furniture. So I told Terry, I said, there's nothing like that in Wilson County, I don't think. So we came back and did a little research. And so we started this, and there's been so many God moments that have happened since we started it. It's been unbelievable, the doors that have been opened for us. But we basically are over behind Hardee's on 231 South. And we're right next to the piano store and the liquor store. But we receive furniture there every Wednesday from 9 to 12 and every third Saturday from 9 to 12.
Who are you trying to help? Or is there a particular group of people, or just, I'm wondering?
Yeah, good question. We work through referrals, and those referrals come from Compassionate Hands is one of our resources. Probably our biggest resource is Compassionate Hands, and Brooks House, the Help Center, Foster 180, Jeannie Sanders. Family gets a new foster kid, but they need some bedding or a bunk bed or whatever, a dresser. We usually can help fill that need. Local churches, Help Center, but the benevolence committees for churches, they send us referrals, then we follow up on that referral and schedule that delivery based on what we have in inventory.
Well, are you pleased with where you are, having started about a year ago?
You know, we ask ourselves that question about every week. Is this what we're supposed to be doing? I know my wife and I have been involved in medical missions overseas for several years, and then COVID put a stop to that, at least for now. So our twigs kind of got bent in this direction. And this year we've been able to help about 50 families so far, and some of those were full house deliveries. 2-3 bedroom homes, full bedroom suites, the living room furniture, kitchen, silverware, plates, all the different things like that. We've been able to furnish them with that. And like I said, we work through volunteers, and Greg has been really helpful from day one, and real supportive of always being available if we need to make a delivery and we're a little short-handed. I know I can always count on him to come in and save the day for us.
Set his fiddle aside and go to work.
Yeah, and we've been known to play a little music along the way, too.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it's time for us to take a break. My guest, Jeff Greg Hallams this morning, and the Fam Essentials, which we were talking about, and playing the fiddle a little bit, too. Jeff, you also play, as you alluded to earlier, but your favorite, the one you do the most right now, is guitar?
Well, probably the ukulele.
Oh.
I've been playing it about 6 years, and it's probably my favorite instrument. I still play banjo, guitar, and bass. Bass is probably my mainstay, but I'm really enjoying the ukulele.
All right, we'll take this break. More coming up. Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's now 7:17, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford, the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $49.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, safety check too. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. There's still a car on its top out here. It looks like a Jeep on 65 northbound at Harding Place. It's way over to the right-hand side. And just a few minutes ago, just about 100 yards north of that location, a truck jackknifed. But they straightened it back out pretty quickly. Again, coming up from Brentwood was a little bit slow a few minutes ago on 65 northbound. And now they're trying to upright that Jeep on 65 north there at Harding Place. I-24, believe it or not, is starting to pick up through Rutherford County. There's some tricky spots out there in Rutherford and Coffee County this morning. Please give yourself extra time. Princess Hot Chicken is catering during this holiday season. Check them out at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The WANT and WCOR radio crew wants to thank each of you for listening, advertising, and being a guest on our talk show. We look forward to many more years of being Wilson County's own radio. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, the personal service you've depended on for 35 years is available wherever you are. Open an account today and have access to your personal checking or savings accounts 24/7 when you bank online or use our mobile app. With 21 different kinds of accounts available, our dedicated e-banking team makes opening online easy, safe, and convenient. To get started, visit wilsonbank.com. Wilson Bank and Trust, Middle Tennessee's community bank, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Mayor Rick Bell,
And I'm Sarah Haston, your Economic Development Director for the City of Lebanon.
and we're asking each of you to shop Lebanon this Christmas season.
Are you ready for the hustle and bustle, Mayor?
Absolutely, 'tis the season, and I'm ready to get everyone checked off my list by shopping Lebanon and shopping small.
Well, it's definitely important to support our Lebanon business community.
Indeed, our Lebanon businesses are the backbone of our community, and they support us all year.
That's right. Let's show some local love at Christmas. We are asking everyone to commit to give back by shopping your local retailers here in Lebanon.
Have a Merry Christmas from all of us at the City of Lebanon.
And we continue here on a Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. Jeff Howlands, Greg Howlands, my guest. Now, Jeff, I want to talk about real estate for a moment because you wear a lot of hats. You've done a lot of things. It seems like. I mean, the musician thing, the real estate, this mission that you're on now with Fam Essentials, Faith and Actions Ministry. But you've been quite successful in the real estate business, I understand.
I've been blessed. Yeah, it has been really good. Been doing full-time real estate for about 20 years, and we've had our own company for going on 12 years, and been an auctioneer for next year will be 40 years.
Wow. But you've made a little change, I understand, or one is about to happen if it hasn't.
Yes. We're pretty excited about some changes that are coming up. Dawn Grissom, who has run our company for the past 10 years and done an excellent job, we're going to be making some changes. January 1st, she is going to take over the company. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna still sell real estate, so I'm still do what I've been doing. I just won't be involved in the day-to-day operations, but she'll take over as the new owner of the Lebanon and the Carthage branch January the 1st. Mm-hmm. And we got 26 agents in our Lebanon office, and we have 7 in the Carthage office.
Well, where's Greg fit into all of this?
Well, he is, he's always there when I need him for something. Sometimes I got to drag him kicking and screaming like this morning, but.
Are you a real estate agent?
No.
You're a musician. Is that's your main thing?
No.
No.
I actually have a business, Hallam's Landworks, and I do a lot of grain excavating type stuff. And
how long you been doing that?
I've been doing that off and on for about 4 years, full time for a couple of years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have your own business. There's something to be said for that. And if you don't want to work, you can play the fiddle.
There you go.
You know what's interesting, Coleman, is I wish I could see Greg here in his Liberty overalls this morning. But you would not know this, but for 22 years he wrote code for software.
Oh.
Yeah, he's smarter than he looks.
You, what were you doing in South America when I tried to contact you the first time?
I'm trying to remember which trip that was. I think we were scouting for a medical mission trip. Now that COVID has calmed down a little bit, we're probably going to fire that back up. So we're looking at maybe a early spring trip to the area of the Macloisa, Honduras, which is kind of north of Tegucigalpa.
Yeah.
It's a guy that we've worked with several years in the past, and he's in a very poverty-stricken area that needs a lot of medical care, and so we're looking at maybe picking that back up and doing that.
Well, I guess what amazes me in a way, I wouldn't know where to start to begin to think about doing something like this. Mm-hmm. You get the idea and you go and do it. Going to another country would be frightening enough to me, but then of course you've got a contact there. But to work all this out and to really be a benefit to them, I think it takes either some unusual talent or some great connections to pull off something like that.
Well, it gets a little crazy sometimes, but we've worked in Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Kenya. We've been to Kenya a couple times, but when we first started,
that's Africa, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, okay. It's a long ways there. It was an 18-hour plane ride, airtime. But when we first started this, my wife, she's an RN, Terry, and so her dream was to go on a trip with Dr. George Robertson.
Oh.
And so she was able to do that, and that's been about 20 years ago. And I was the guy that thought, well, these people just need to get a job. That in these other countries, I was ignorant, didn't know what was going on. So I finally went on a trip and realized how wrong I was, and how fortunate we are, and what we have. And so we started.
Well, are there no jobs to get? Is that?
Yeah, well, yeah, the industry is not there. The infrastructure is not there. You have no middle class. You have just lower and upper. There's a lot of corruption in the government, but there's a lot of really good, sweet people over there. When you see those chocolate brown eyes of those little kids, and you give them a crayon, you don't give them a box, you give them a crayon. They don't complain about what color it is, or it ain't a box of 64. It's like they won the lottery. And so it's very, we get a lot more out of those trips than they do out of us. They teach us a lot more about what priority is in life.
Well, it is Central America. I think those are the other countries besides Kenya. All those are Central America. My geography is right.
Yes.
Is that your main thrust right now?
Yeah, probably the Honduras, Central Honduras area is where we've done most of our work. And that's where we plan on going back to. This place we were just at a few weeks ago, we're probably going to put together a team. We just wanted to go over there to make sure the need was there, and what kind of team we needed to build to take back over there. We do have Dr. Conchita Martinez, and she's been out here on your show with us. She's our main doctor and has been for years. I met her through real estate. She called me on one of my listings several years ago, and we got together, and she went with us on our first trip and has been our main doctor ever since.
Okay, it takes money to do these things that you're wanting to do and to help people in this way. Where are you getting it?
Yeah, that part where I said I sell real estate a minute ago, that comes in a little handy. On our mission trips, those trips usually cost anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600 to go per person, and that includes your airfare, transportation, some of the food, the lodging. And most folks either pay that themselves or they'll raise it through their circle of influence. As far as our FAM Essentials goes, it costs us, everything's volunteer driven. Nobody draws a check off of FAM. But we have a building, we have a light bill, we buy mattresses, we buy cleaning supplies and toiletries. So we spend about $2,200 to $2,500 a month. And so as far as some of our needs, that's a need because we've got a little money set aside to pay for that, but it is dwindling away. So we could use financial support for that. We are a 501c3, so it is tax deductible. And also we need volunteers.
Yeah. What do you need volunteers for?
Okay, the days that we receive on Every Wednesday from 9 to 12, you basically just open the building. You're there to receive if anybody brings anything. And then that third Saturday. Need that. And then the second and fourth Saturdays are our delivery Saturdays. That's where people show up with a pickup truck. We've got a delivery schedule. We've already done all the groundwork for it. And when on delivery days, and Greg can tell you this, by noon, you're back home. We get it set up pretty quickly in those homes, and we try to get everybody back to their house. So, it's about a 3-hour commitment on those days.
Do you have any churches or civic clubs or other organizations that have kicked in to help you a little?
Yes, there's been a big outpouring of help from the churches, and this is not a particular church work. This is more of kingdom work. It's not a Church of Christ, a Baptist, a Nazarene, a Presbyterian. This is just kingdom work. So we're trying to join hands with our religious neighbors, and kind of like Compassionate Hands does, and just be the hands and feet of Jesus. And we've had a lot of people from different labels on their building that come and help and work side by side, and it's been great.
Well, you've had it just been doing this for a year, so I guess it's there's been a lot of learning in the last 12 months you've been doing this. But as you look to the future, and you were saying the other day, I think kidding a little bit, you wonder if you're headed in the right direction or whatever. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions that come up, but no doubt what you're doing is rewarding. And to continue on, you could use some more help, it sounds.
That is right, yeah. And I think if people can just reach out to myself or my wife, Terry, you can catch us on Facebook or Email jeffhallems@gmail.com, or my cell number is 615-478-7853. If you want to just shoot me a text or give me a call, if you want to contribute or be a volunteer, or if you want to donate some furniture. If you go to our website, famessentials.org, there's an acceptable list of items on there. There are some things we don't take, and there's a reason behind those. We don't take king beds because they won't fit in these apartments. China cabinets, they don't fit in the apartments. So there's a reason behind those. But if you go to that website, it'll show you which items we do accept.
And that website again is?
famessentials.org.
FAM essentials.org.
That's it, yes.
And just about anything, I guess even your telephone number is probably there.
Yes, that's right. And and if you want to come help out, I know Greg is good about helping us out on some Wednesdays. If Terry and I have something, a commitment that we have, then he's always helpful to show up and open the building for us. And that's what other volunteers do as
Yeah,
well.
well, let brotherly love continue.
That's right.
Greg, it's good to have you. I think this is the first time I've met you this morning.
Oh, no.
No?
No, it's,
Well.
did some music stuff here, but that's been a long
Well, all
time
right.
ago.
Anyway, Jeff and Greg Hallems, our time is up. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it. It's nice to have you right here live in studio this morning.
Thank you, Cole.
And
Thank
that
you.
is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it there for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota that help you rent the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Stop by Absolute Kubota. Check out the U35 excavator, the SVL 75 compact track loader. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We were watching TDOT work at several different accidents in South Nashville, down in Brentwood, Franklin. Just give yourself extra time out here if you have to get out and about. Certain areas are not so bad, especially where they put down a lot of sand and salt overnight and all this morning, especially the major interstate routes. But there's still some very dangerous, I can't emphasize that enough, driving conditions out here on some of the back roads. I've already seen a couple of trucks jackknife, especially earlier there on 65 up around Harding Place. They finally cleared it. But again, that's just an indication of how dangerous it is out here in Middle Tennessee. Princess Hot Chicken can help you with catering this holiday season. PrincessHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Shopping, buying presents, cooking, more cleaning. Hurry, hurry. This Christmas season, slow down and make some lasting memories with your loved ones. Snuggle a little longer, share your favorite memories, and create a new memory. Stuff will someday be gone, but our love and kindness lives forever. Don't make a move without us. Merry Christmas.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmensholer at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
We all like to save money, and State Farm can help with discounts. When you combine your car insurance with State Farm homeowner insurance, you get big savings. So talk to me, Jeff Gannon, in Lebanon or Mount Juliet. State Farm Good Neighbor Service that has made us America's #1 insurance company. Together, we can help you make sure you get the discounts you deserve and the coverage you need. Come see me, Jeff Gannon, in Lebanon or Mount Juliet, and find out why more homeowners and drivers trust State Farm than any other insurance company.
We survived the winter storm front. Now we have to get through this bone-chilling cold. A wind chill warning is in effect until noon today because it will feel like 15 below or colder when the air hits you. We will only climb to 14 degrees today and be back at 6 degrees overnight. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number 1 Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to the second half, which we simply call Part 2. It's Part 2 of Coleman and Company here on what has been a snowy night and a cold Friday morning. But we're on the air now for the C&D team with Exit Rocky Top Realty, and it's good to have right here in studio Miss Judy, and we've got Mike with us this morning, Mike Cox. Mike, I'm going to say good morning to you first.
Good morning, Coleman.
You're the chauffeur and other.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Miss Judy, how are you?
I'm doing great.
roads aren't too bad. We had probably a half inch of snow, I'm guessing, about a half inch of snow. And it can be treacherous if you're not careful, but if you'll go slow and leave plenty of room between you and the person ahead of you, you shouldn't have any problem, really.
No tailgating today.
Yeah, right. Okay, I always remind people you're located at 1330 West Main in Lebanon. Great people, great service. Somebody answers that phone 24/7. And I don't know where we came up with this slogan, and of course Medina got hers later on, but I love this, people you can trust. And I think that describes y'all really well, and I've come to know you and talk with you here over the years here on Friday mornings, and Mike, being the jack of all trades and knows how to do just about everything, that there's even more trust there.
That's right. I think we ran an ad once, and the people that were designing the ad put that on there, and we just decided, okay, well, let's try that. So
All
we
right.
left it.
Well, you want to get us started?
Well, I'm not going to talk about anything except just it's as soon as the end of the year's over here and all the Christmas stuff's being put up, it's time to get ready to put that house on the market, or it's time to go buy one. So we'll be ready and raring to go. All the agents are ready for next year and just gearing up for it. And I'm going to let him talk the rest of the time.
Well, let me ask this: do you sort of shut your office down? You're always available by phone.
We'll be closed Monday as far as the office, but our answering service stays on and our phones are on, so people still call during holidays. So
there when people need you.
that's right. We're always available, and the office will be closed officially on Monday, but it'll be open Friday. So.
Okay, Mike, it's your turn then.
Well, they say they're closed, but believe me, they won't be. Usually they always make 2 or 3 sales, during the holidays, and they'll leave to go do it. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean,
well,
you taught us that.
Well, I have an idea. He's kind of like that with whatever he was doing in the last several years. Although I think you have slowed down a little bit, haven't you?
Yes, I've slowed down a lot, really. I still am there to, if we have a problem with a house closing, I'll usually step in and get it fixed. I mean, I just, we try to make sure everybody's house closes.
Well, you've really, I think y'all have a great track record. When did you really start? When did you get into either building or real estate or whatever? What did you start in, Mike?
Well, I started the same year Wilson Bank did.
Okay.
And I didn't. I was
87.
I was with another bank, and they come to me about 6 months after Wilson Bank had opened and told me they were not going to do any more construction loans on houses. And at that time, I didn't do as many customs. I did more spec houses and things. And I was like, okay. And for somehow I got hooked up with Elmer Richardson. I don't really remember how, but it was probably the best thing I ever did in my life. I mean, because me and him been dear friends ever since. And I mean, he's encouraged me along because I'd always just do one house and then do another one and do another one, because I didn't want to get myself in a position to where, one day the bank's looking for money and I didn't have it. So, but then I got into custom building, and once you do that, your money's there because you got a customer that's paying for it and everything. And everything's already sold. So,
it's been a good ride for you.
Oh, it has been. I mean, probably some of the best friends I ever had is Wilson Bank, to be honest with you. I mean, if it hadn't been for them and some other people in town, I used them, and so it's all worked out for the best.
And y'all have been able, because of the success that's come your way, to do what you do at the fair, and just like you with your golf cart out there riding people when they need help, and even building that cabin after putting it up and taking it down for several years. So all of it has worked together for good, it seems like.
Yeah, the best thing is when they after 8 years, they told me the next year I could build it. We finally got through all the different entities you had to go to, and matter of fact, the last one I had to go to, we were on our way to the mountains. I was already in Knoxville, and it was probably 3:30 or something like that. Randall calls me. He said, "There's a meeting tonight of the Ag Committee, and you need to be there." I said, "When is it?" He said, 5:30. I said, Randall, I'm in Knoxville. He said, well, I want to tell you, this is probably going to be your last shot. So I turned around and came back and got there just in time, walked in the room, and they voted to let me do it. You know, matter of fact, one of the people on the ag board, Terry, he stood up and I had a full set of plans drawn, had a cost estimate of a little over 100,000, and they were wavering on it, because they couldn't figure out why would I want to go put that kind of money in something like that.
Yeah.
But my deal was I wanted to be able to use it for then it was like 7 days, and now we're up to 10 and 11 days, you know. So I said, it's just advertising. It's giving back to the community. And when I did it, I just decided, we're really not going to advertise real estate. We're just going to be there so people can see us. And
What a great idea it's been. It has worked beautifully.
Oh, yeah,
for
it's
you.
worked beautifully for us and for the county, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
they've got to rent the building when they want to, and so it's really worked out really well.
Well, a great story, and I guess that's about it for our time here this morning, but glad that y'all could make it out. But again, half-inch of snow, the roads are not that bad, but drive carefully.
Yeah.
And Mike, thank you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
We
Thank you.
wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and look forward to what all next year's going to bring.
All right, great. Well,
Oh, and I
just-
better not forget, don't make a move without us.
All right.
Or I'll be in trouble.
We'll leave on that one this morning.
All right.
Don't make a move without us.
Thank
Judy
you, Coleman.
Cox, Mike Cox, thank you so much. We're about 20 before the hour, and we're ready to go to the telephone. Okay, I'm going to go to the phone, and Dr. Patel is on the phone. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt you after you say good morning here, because there's something I was supposed to have done in the first half and maybe do it again, and I forgot to, and that is that MJ is going to be speaking with our City Utilities Director, Margaret Washko, about 8:10 this morning. She'll have some good information for us. And then County Mayor Randall Hutto is going to be on about an hour later, about 9:10 this morning. MJ will be talking with both of those people. So y'all want to stay with us. Don't turn the radio off at 8. Just stay with us here and find out what's happening. And now Dr. Patel is on the phone rather than here in studio with Lebanon Family Pharmacy, 1311 West Main. And it's good to hear your voice, and hopefully we can get the message out that you have today here on the telephone as if you were live here in studio. So what do you got for us today?
Well, Coleman, it's really cold. That's the first thing. It's like I woke up and I was like, oh my God, this is 0 degrees outside. So my daughter is excited about it. She loves the snow, but me not so much. But with Lebanon Family Pharmacy, right now with the shortages, we want to let people know that, sometimes independent pharmacies are a big key when it comes to shortages because we can manage our inventory better. And so we're always on it. We check the ordering system at least about 4 to 5 times a day. As soon as something becomes available in stock, we'll go ahead and order it for patients. And if we say that if something is out of stock today and we've ordered it for you and it'll be here tomorrow, it will be here tomorrow. It's not going to take another week for it to get here. So that's something that, people that are struggling with shortages should keep that in mind. We, right now with the Tylenol and the Motrin shortages with children, we had a lot of stock until yesterday. So we have been wiped out as well. But there are other options, and, you just give us a call and we'll walk you through them.
All right, now I am wondering about today. Will your doors be open today?
We are actually closed today. We will be closed until Monday, and we won't be open again until Tuesday. So
Okay.
we're taking a 4-day weekend.
All right. Well, you got big plans for that?
Yes, we're actually going to take my daughter to Gatlinburg and her first Dollywood Christmas trip.
Oh. Well, I'll have to say this. I know that because of the shortage and because you had an availability at Lebanon Family Pharmacy, the the TV people, one station in particular, Nashville, picked up on that. I think it was that last weekend. You got a lot of publicity, no doubt, out of that television interview.
Yes, we did. It was News Channel 4. They called us and they asked us that how are we doing on everything, and I was like, well, I have everything in stock. So they're like, can we come and do a story on the shortages with you? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, come down here and talk to us. So Coleman, like, we've been getting a lot of calls and transfers because of the shortages. But it has put us on the map, and people do know now that, whenever they think about pharmacies, they always think about the big box stores. Sometimes when I drive around those stores, I see like 10 people are waiting in their cars in lines, and the lines are all the way to halfway the aisle. But at that time, people are okay to wait an hour or two, but they don't think that they have an alternative. And when I was talking to a few patients, I asked them what was the barrier and why were independent pharmacies, don't come first to people's mind when they're thinking about their prescriptions or they're thinking about their healthcare needs besides doctor's offices. And they said cost was an issue. So people have this thing in, where they think that independent pharmacies are more expensive, and that because we're small, we charge more money for everything. Not true in most of the cases, is because if you're on insurance, most of your copays with the insurances should be the same unless your insurance doesn't pay anything on those medications, or if you're using GoodRx cards, then your prices might differ a couple of dollars here and there. But we are still very competitive. We still try to match as much as we can. And if we can't match it, we'll flat out tell you that, hey, it's better to stay at a bigger box store because you're probably going to get a better deal there. So we're very honest about the business that we conduct at the pharmacy, and we always tell people that you will never know the kind of service that you're receiving unless you transfer, unless you give us a chance. So if you don't like it, totally fine to go switch back, and we're not going to be hurt about it. But if you never give a chance, you will never know the kind of service you're missing out on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Dr. Hadel Patel is my guest this morning. We're talking about her Lebanon Family Pharmacy, 1311 West Main, and it is time for us to take a break, but our conversation will continue shortly here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get a battery installed on most vehicles, $134.95. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. T-Dot's behind a car over here. It looks like it may have crashed, and they're trying to straighten all this out over here on 40 eastbound at Central Pike in the Hermitage area. It's not causing a big traffic delay, but I'll tell you, that's just an indication of how dangerous it is out here in Middle Tennessee this morning. All night long, they've been out there putting sand and salt down in the Nashville metro area, but some areas are still pretty bad where it may have froze over again. So just give yourself extra time out here. Use caution, common sense. It's still moving right now on 24 coming in from Rutherford County. Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. Log on to nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The WANT and WCOR radio crew wants to thank each of you for listening, advertising, and being a guest on our talk show. We look forward to many more years of being Wilson County's own radio. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Just in time for Christmas, the Titans host the Houston Texans this Saturday at Nissan Stadium. It's a Christmas Eve affair with Titans and Texans. Titans countdown starts at 11. That kickoff is at noon.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, The Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas and Tennessee 811. Call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Well, again, good morning and thanks for joining us. Coleman and Company this morning featuring Dr. Hadel Patel. She has the Lebanon Family Pharmacy, 1311 West Main here in Lebanon, and is with us by phone this morning to talk about the things that are going on there. But just again, you did say you're going to be closed today and Monday as far as people coming to you'll be closed, and just a word out to that. But you did I thought an excellent job of explaining about the smaller pharmacists, and that you are competitive, and that people don't have to go to the big box stores and wait in long lines. They can come to you and pay either about the same price or maybe sometimes cheaper. Avoid the long lines. So a lot of convenience in dealing with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the goal of independent pharmacies, is to offer as many services as they can to the community that they serve. And, we're really excited to offer one more new service at our pharmacy. Usually so far only health departments have been doing the monkeypox or the mpox vaccine, which is the Jynneos. Now we're the first pharmacy that are actually, approved by CDC and the state health department to go ahead and start giving out this vaccine. And we do have it in stock. So if you fall under any of those categories and qualify, or even have any questions about it, please give us a call. We'll be happy to answer all of your questions.
Well, I think we could talk for a minute this morning about your background and your training. You you really sound like you know what you're talking about, if I can say it like that. I don't want to be crude here, but I'm impressed with your knowledge and the way you express it and really know what's going on. I guess you've had several years of experience, but you must have studied at the right place as well.
Absolutely. So my pharmacy school was Rosalind Franklin University in North Chicago. That's where I went to pharmacy school. And our school actually was an interprofessional school. So we had, for the first 3 years, now a doctorate, PharmD program is 4 years. So the first 3 years, all of our classes that we had were all with the doctors, the podiatrists, all the nurse practitioners, the physical therapists. All of those schools, for the first 3 years, we all took the same classes. We're interprofessional, so we were in different teams with doctors, we were in different teams with nurses, and then in the fourth year, everybody ventures out on their own and does their own respective rotations for their fields. So that kind of has given me the strength to communicate with other healthcare providers better, and kind of arm myself up with, the extra knowledge about how other fields work as well. What are the needs of other fields? And I feel like, when we opened the pharmacy, we applied that knowledge to the basis of opening the pharmacy. Like, how can we work better with not only just the healthcare providers in our area, but the community as well? If I am doing something for the pharmacy, that means that I'm also doing that for my family. So I think the family aspect of it is very, very huge when it comes to our pharmacy. So that's why we're trying to add as many services as we can, because if it's convenient for at least one family in the community to say that, well, this is my backup and I can always go here and get whatever I need, that means a lot to me.
I want to ask you, maybe change our direction just a little bit here, but of course we've had the flu, and it seems like a lot of people have had the flu. We've still have COVID, and we have maybe a third thing that people have in addition to the monkeypox. What do you have a feeling as to what January is going to bring? I'm just wondering how bad it is, how bad you think it's going to get, or is it already getting better? What's that look like?
I think with the shortages, the way they're continuing, January doesn't look that great to me. Now, some of the people are basically just panic buying right now. They're just buying in case if their child gets sick. I had somebody stop by the other day that was buying Tylenol for, the baby that wasn't even born. They still had 2 months for the due date. And now I was like, how do you expect a baby to be born and be sick right away needing Tylenol? You don't, right? So, people are panic buying right now. People are thinking that they might need it. But I think the best course of action right now is not trying to go out there and source Tylenol or source Motrin or Advil. Is to basically take preventative actions. Make sure that, you're again back to the same routine that you are when COVID was at its peak. So wear your mask, sanitize all the surfaces that you and your child are working on. Make sure you sanitize your hands after touching things, and, just be cautious about everything again, just for a couple more months to, kind of pass through the peak phase that we're going to see probably in January and February.
Well, at this time of year, there's a lot of visitation, a lot of family gatherings, this sort of thing. Maybe, I think quite a bit more than usual. Thanksgiving, of course, is Christmas is New Year's, and you just mentioned some cautions there. But should we be more careful as we get together here in the next few days?
Absolutely, absolutely. We absolutely love seeing our families and spending time with them, but just to be, just be careful while you're doing that, because, you have elderly parents, or if you have, other elderly grandparents or little babies in the house. We just want to be very careful with them. Have conversations, but make sure that you're seated a little bit further away from everybody. If you're giving a hug to somebody, just, keep it as quick as you can and try to sanitize, or, try to stay away from people while being in the same room. It helps a little bit. Yes, sometimes it's not convenient, or sometimes I just want that, tight 5-minute long hug, but you have to kind of watch out for everybody else right now as well.
Well, you again, your outlook for January is really not that positive, if I can read between the lines here a little bit. But it's all the more reason, I guess, to be careful and to be observant and keep your distance and this sort of thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and with the Motrin and the Tylenol shortages that I was telling about with kids, and the antibiotic shortages, there are other options. So like if somebody said that, well, there's none available and my child really needs it, and if the doctor, they go to the doctor's office and they have all the symptoms and they have like a very high fever, then there is prescription versions available as well. So if nothing is available over the counter, have your doctor write a prescription for it. Pharmacies have the ability to order the prescription strength, which is basically the same strength, but just a prescription version of it. So we can go ahead and do that as well. Some pharmacies are compounding, so you can call those compounding pharmacies and ask them if they're compounding Tylenol, children's Tylenol and children's Motrin. And then with the Tamiflu, if the person is, or if the child is positive with flu, then we have the Tamiflu at our pharmacy. And then if you're positive with COVID, we have the Paxlovid at our pharmacy as well. So there's other options, and, just like I said, go to a doctor's office if you can. If not, give us a call. We'll advise you what to do. We'll tell you exactly what steps you need to take. We'll ask you how long your symptoms have been. What have you done so far to treat those symptoms? And if it has worked, if it hasn't worked, what your next step should be.
Okay, well, that's what I was anticipating here. If especially if you are having a problem reaching a doctor, that you'll be happy for people to call you, and I think we give out your number here, 615-547-9556, 547-9556, and do you have an answering machine where people leave a message? I mean, you might not be at the phone all the time.
We do, and I want to give everybody another option, that because we're closed for 4 days right now, we will not answer that phone, but we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, and we have a Google business. So if you want to like our Facebook page and shoot us a message through that, we will be happy to advise you, even though it's our days off and, we're not going to be there for 4 days. But the Facebook Messenger is for emergency messages. So every time you have a question or anything that you're concerned about and you need like a response right away, just give us a message on Facebook, and we check those at least, throughout the day.
Okay. All right. Well, keep that in mind then. For the next 2 or 3 days here, rather than a phone number, message you on Facebook. That would be the way to go.
We also have an email address. It's the Lebanon Family Pharmacy at gmail.com. So if you don't have Facebook and if you want to email us, that's another option as well.
Okay. Lebanon Family Pharmacy at gmail.com.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Well, we're in our last minute here. Any final comments, Dr. Hadel Patel, that you have for us this morning?
Final comments would be that it's the holiday season. So have fun, guys. Have fun with your families. Take care of each other and give your small business in your community a chance, because our families depend on these business. And so, when we see the holiday season, we see happiness, we see cheer, we see joy around us. And we want to make sure we continue to have that in our lives. And so, support small businesses, because no matter what happens, we know our patients, we know we'll be with you through thick or thin.
Okay, it's been nice to have you with us today. Thank you so much, and I hope that people take advantage of your information and remember the message that you have for us here. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next month.
Merry Christmas, Coleman.
Thank you. Bye. Just a reminder, MJ is going to be talking with Margaret Washington